everybody, here's a new project I'm tackling today. This is my side table. I think it's very cute, but the colonial style that it's in is not really suited to the space in which it is. As you can see, the couch is, actually it's gray, but it's showing up kind of brown in the video. So the color needs to change, and I'm going to change out the style a little bit. The other thing is it just has this one drawer, which I like, but I'd love to have a little bit extra storage. So I'm going to pop this lid off and install a hinge and have it be another little cabinet space, which means we're going to be adding some wood inside of it to make sure that it stays. The color is going to be blue with some gray antiquing underneath. I've never done anything like this before, so this is going to be a fun little project, and I will take short videos along the way as I do different pieces so that I can show it to you without you having to sit here for however many hours this is going to take. Here we go. All right, so we're working on the side table project, and we are cutting the plywood that's going to go inside and create the cabinet. So here we go. This one I should be able to do.
Get down now. Hold on, wait. Are you kidding me?
Obviously, as you can see from the last video, I wasn't able to show it fitting in, but here it is. And this is going to be the back of the newly installed cabinet. And now I'm going to cut the piece that's going to go here to cover the bottom, and then I will show you all of that before we paint. So as you can see, it is now the next day. We've finished in putting the side that you saw and the bottom, and we have caulked around the outside of it. I am going to wind up spray painting the inside of it just to kind of protect the plywood in case, because the paint that we have will be waterproofing better for it. And then the outside of all of the wood and everything has been sanded and prepped. So the next step will be us painting. Here we go. We are now doing a bottom layer of spray paint. As you can see, it's the gray, and it's a pretty matte gray. I was originally going to have this be the color for it, but I've decided I want it to be blue. So it's going to be blue. This is going to be underneath, kind of as a prep. And then once it's dry, we'll sand down to it in some of the parts with the blue to give it a little bit of an antique look. We'll see how it comes out. I did this side, as you can see, I haven't really spray painted much, so it was a little bit dripping, so I'm getting some help, and it's turning out a lot better for the parts that he's doing than the parts I did. As you can see, we finished step 2, so the gray was already done, and now we've got the royal blue. It technically says navy blue, but it came out a lot more royal blue. So there's the body of it, there's what's going to be the lid of it, and this is the drawer. We have that done. So the next step is going to be sanding some of the edges so some of the gray comes through. I have never done this before, so here's hoping I do not screw it up terribly. I guess the upside is I have a lot of blue left, so if I do screw it up, I can fix it, hopefully. So that's this project. I will video again after I finish with the sanding. Here it is with the scuff marks. What we did was we just used the blocks, which are way easier on the hands than doing it with sandpaper. You want to use a really fine sanding to do it. One thing I have learned from doing this project is we got this really good intense paint. You can see it's like the 2 times paint and primer stuff. If you're going to do something like this, probably go with a bit of a cheaper paint because it was really hard to get through the blue to get to some of the gray. And the gray is showing through. I decided to leave the legs alone because the dowels were really hard to paint. And if I screwed it up, I did not want to have to repaint them again. So as you can see, I just dusted up the edges a little bit, just enough to give it kind of that little bit of aged look. And now we are going to use this chalking paint here, the matte sealer, chalky finish. It's gonna make it look antiqued, or that's what it claims it's gonna do. And I will video after we're finished spraying it down and letting it dry. And then we have to do the top and the drawer as well. And then I will do another clip when it is all finished so you can see the final results.
Can't get no weight.
Another thing we learned when we were doing this is that the long strokes actually works better for getting the gray out. When we do the short strokes, then you get kind of uneven. And then obviously we'll have socks to clean off the fingerprints that I put on mine, and he's putting on his a little bit too. Make sure before you spray a sealer on there that you clean it up really good. I've never done this before, so you know, you get to learn from my experiences and mistakes and whatnot. Here it is, all finished, completely done. You see we use the chalk paint, which creates an odd, like, kind of linear, I don't know. I don't really like the way that it finished. I think if I was going to do the chalk paint again, I would get the brush paint instead of the spray paint because, I don't know, this is kind of a weird look, but I kind of like the outcome in the way. There's the inside, which we created, as you remember. And here's our drawer. My beautiful Himalayan salt bowl as well. So it's all installed where it belongs, and I'm very excited about one project completely done. I love the way it came out. Like I said, I'm not 100% convinced about this whole chalk sheen thing. I love the way that it took out the extra shine in the blue. I thought that was really, really cool. But these weird streaky things, not what I expected. But I'm gonna make do, and if I decide I don't like it, really don't like it, I'll just respray it and get brush chalked in the future. But yeah, turned out pretty good.